Yes. And all I can tell you at this point, even if you absolutely annihilate and destroy and terrorize my whole family and call over system and service and whatever and try to crazy make and create more false calls and call in SWAT and shit and get up to whatever and try to decimate and do whatever it is to torment and destroy. Like, wink wink manifesto letter, right? Or try to blackmail me or harm me or do whatever, And right now, you all really are stuck on my little. You know why? Because it is the weakness, right? Right? Oh, but there are things in the background that are going to bite you hard in the ass. This one. I promise you. What you don't know is going to come back and bite you in the ass. Okay, so you're saying that um, Penny slash Fizz reached out to her line about why she sent it to her. So Penny sent her paperwork. I still don't know how they have their hands on it. Either way, here's a cute story for what was the name of it? And I bet if you looked into it hard, I wonder, because y'all remember the fake forensic artists that looked like they were legit too, because of all the things they had up and all that PFizz was associated with and trying to feed people that I refused. Y'all remember that? And then it shows back up in a certain cycle a few months later, and they're like, oh yeah, you remember you refused, but it didn't make sense. And the person couldn't even get software and shit right on it. It was definitely built to look a certain way. Now, I personally have not looked at this person's page or anything, so I don't know. I don't know if they're legit. I don't know if they're another fake one like that forensic. It very much is. Um, they will offer out experts because PFizz had offered out these experts in discords and things right very early on with me, a fake Chris McDonough as well, all this shit, right? To try to pretend they were helping or to get us. No, they're fake. Okay, and then they make another appearance later on. These experts, these channels made to look like, but they're not. So I don't know about this one. I can't say myself, and I'm not going to because I don't know. I'm not looked, so I'll go look here shortly. But yeah, somebody definitely either had to give that out from the courthouse to someone, or people who shouldn't have been giving that out, considering my daughter also had to sign and test. Yeah, uh, like, yikes! Who put that paperwork out to target my daughter and I? I've been wondering that for a few days. Not only were court papers involving my daughter given to this group by people who, before even could pull out from the courthouse, not only was paperwork given out about my daughter who wasn't supposed to be mentioned, targeted, harassed, terrorized by, to do just that, right? But then a couple days later, you have what is the full orders, right? When we first applied for this second put out. And by who, I don't know. But apparently, you have somebody online. I'm trying to tell you all something about my handwriting. Now, what I'm going to tell them, and while we were laughing today. Now, what I'm going to tell them, and while we were laughing today, uh, is because of this. For starters, the day that was written, this one was written. I was doing so. I was with a friend of mine, and we went to the courthouse like we were told to do that morning, and I had to fill it out. Part of it was filled out on like walls and everything else, but also because in between that period, I took the paperwork with me somewhere else. So I got back in the car and was writing it while we were driving. And stopping and going and whatever. Then, had to finish filling it out up against a wall, uh, inside of a courthouse, etc. So then, also you want to add in there these factors. Okay. After certain abuses took place towards me a couple years ago, my handwriting changed permanently. It's no longer the same as it was. Secondly, I've been off of certain medications for so long that my joints and hands, right? And right now, I have new things happening with them where I can't feel my hands and stuff. But, so I have a very, very hard time writing. And even the police know this because I had to take certain medicines I was having allergic reactions to in order to unlock my hands just to get them to work well enough last year to write out my statement about summer. So I took medicine I knew I was having allergic reactions to, just to be able to unlock my hands well enough to write out a statement. Now, the other day, I did not have that benefit. So, that handwriting, oh, you're so many factors there. A, it's not my original. Can't feel my hands. With new damage to them to where I'm having to compensate in an entirely different way the past couple months than I was prior. My hands also and fingers do not work correctly and are, they have problems. Forget, I suppose, harass me. So they were sharing the video at first, right? We're on the YouTube streets, I guess. Any YouTubers were giving names to it. Am I correct? Oh dear. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate that. Interesting. Anyway, moving on. Oh, see, I've been so checked out the past couple days. But my family took notice. What's wrong with you people out there? Interesting. Have they gotten to, like, the verdict yet? Like, what happened? I need to know. Because, like, I was busy today. And I just laughed. I was like, oh, whatever. I mean, literally, I was listening. We had a good laugh. But here tell the internet. Here tell Floppy and everybody else. We all hate each other. Everything's bad. Fucking tragic. Destruction is reigning supreme. No, I mean. Did I get him back from where? Carolyn. Which trail cams? And did I get him back from where? How many were there? What are they telling you people out there? God, they're on this camera thing, ain't they? No, they weren't stolen. Who the hell's telling y'all that cameras or camera or anything else is stolen? Who's telling y'all these things? What? Which cameras? From where? What? What the fuck is happening right now? I'm not laughing at you, Carolyn. I'm just wondering what you've been told. Sorry, I thought you said they were when they broke into your van. What van, Carolyn? I don't own a van. Did they open up a vehicle? One of them might have been stored in and copy that too. Is this a hint? No, I don't recall being very specific about all the items being stolen from the property during multiple B&Es lately. Carolyn, is that what you're talking about? Is that what they're telling you? Almost that I gave a specific list of items? Like the whole rundown? Because it didn't. Or are they mixing up and convoluting for you all? The fact that a camera was tampered with on Ben Hill after Summer vanished. Mm. And that they keep feeding out, including to others on their call-ins and things, trying to get precise locations for cameras that they don't need, and the amounts of and placements of and who owned and the whereabouts of cameras. In their pursuit of that knowledge that they don't need, that could very well do damage to Summer's case. Yeah. I never mentioned what all or from where things were stolen, but it's weird they're talking about a camera being in a vehicle, isn't it, Carolyn? Odd that. Which creator is feeding you that, Carolyn? Which creator told you all one of the cameras might have been taken from a vehicle? Which creator? Odd. You just assumed it was in a vehicle and not a trailer, though, Carolyn. You made that leap. Why would you think a camera would be in a vehicle, Carolyn? You know, your name is so familiar. It's so strange. Carolyn Smith. It's a great name, isn't it? Oh, sorry. You said van, not trailer. Did they say a trail cam in a van? Well, that's interesting. How very specific of you there, Carolyn. That's so strange. Family, like, that's not how we do rice, man. Bitch! Well, that was a lovely move. Who are you calling that? You want to call the internet that? Bitch! Hey, kid. Guess what they're doing? It looks like PFizz is. Look at this. Look what they're saying about your damn sister. You know the handwriting analysis thing that, well, me and Graham's talking about earlier. We all had a good laugh about it. Okay. As others in the family, I guess it just got back to me from Graham's today, and they were talking about an overpowering mother. But we had a good laugh about it. Okay, in the driveway a little bit ago. But here is what they're saying about your sister. The handwriting analysis lady, she got screwed over by PFizz, and she took her videos down because she's pretty pissed to be used in that way. Didn't realize we under all the stress, the DV, the case, or do that, right? She doesn't do active cases. But this is what PFizz is telling and directing your sister, hoping it's going to go up in algorithms. And that way, look how many times she uses your sister's different nicknames in that post. Yeah, tell me some sick shit. And then, yeah, so then apparently at this 19-minute mark, after she's calling this handwriting analysis expert and all this, which is apparently not about me and Grandma like we thought, but about your sister and I, at the 19-minute mark, you know what it says? It says something like, what was it? Something like, I'm trying to steal spotlight and compete with your sister. Buddy, have I not raised both y'all to debate me, literally, like at the house? It was like, okay, you all can disagree, don't quack like me, don't whatever. Hell, the other night I couldn't even get you to fix rice, nor could we were like, that's not how you do that, bro. I was like, why is the chicken pieces not here? Like, I'm gonna do it my way. I mean, why are these people like this? And I mean, every day I tell her, I want you to learn how, like, to be that butterfly kid. Get your voice. Speak and scream till the ground shakes. And these people are like, oh, poor Rue. Like, what the hell? I'm so tired of these people. Look. Hold on, let me mute out. I want to know where you are.